The ears are still not right at all. Oh man. This is where again I need to look at my photo reference. But I do want to talk about hair today and maybe doing some tertiary detail on the lips. Because I really want you guys to be sculpting hair for homework and additional scan cleanup, or at this point we can just call it sculpting. So skin work, work on the lips, tertiary detail on the lips, and of course hair sculpting. So I need some kind of audio, like, can you hear me? Need some kind of affirmation from you guys that you're there and you can hear me. And if I switch to Twitch, then I can maybe see you on the chat too. That would be great. And we get this cool affirmation.
I can hear you on Twitch just fine.
Okay. Cool. So it sounds like it's working. I'm gonna move back. When I leave Twitch up on the screen, I get the cool like video feedback effect, but it does get obnoxious sometimes. Okay, I figured out that image 7 is like a good reference for this. So I'll load that back up. It's a nice front view, or front-ish view. And I'm going to go pretty fast because there's a lot to do. And holy crap is there a lot to do. So first let's talk about skin detailing. One way to get skin back is to project from the scan data. I think I've exhausted that because I went over that in 2 different videos, and a lot of you don't have great scan. Sorry, a lot of you guys don't have great scan data, so then it doesn't really apply to you, does it? So since I've already covered it with 2 videos, I'm going to stop with that technique. The Morph brush, though, is really, again, very useful. So wherever, I hear a beep, so I need to check. Is everything okay? Yes, 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 everybody's getting this. Cool. Awesome. What's the other thing? I guess that's everything. Okay, back to what I was doing. So just super fast, right? If we want to get this detail back in, we can always project it, but we don't have to project the whole head at once, right? We can just project small parts at a time. So if there's something that I want to get back, like part of an eyelid, then it's just fine to mask that really small part, either with the mask pen, which by the way is nice because the thing about the mask pen, guys, is that it doesn't go through the other side. So the mask lasso has the important distinction of literally going all the way through. So if I were to mask lasso this, and I love the mask lasso, by the way. This is like one of my favorite tools to use in Zbrush. That's going to go all the way through to the other side. So that's just something you have to know and deal with. So Command or Control and Alt, and you can easily remove it. So then, as you know at this point, we go up to the highest level, which I've decided I'm going to be daring and go up to 9 million, which might be a bit much. I could go back down to 2 million if I wanted to project, and God, I know this is review, but just bear with me. So we project at 9 million and check. You might want to project at 2 million, but I'm going to project at 9. And I did blur the edges. So if you already have a morph target stored, definitely check and see if you can switch back and forth. Oh, it did nothing. Why did it do nothing? Who knows? Can somebody tell me? Anybody want to guess why it did nothing? Because people can still talk to me, or I guess they can chat. Maybe they can say in the chat. So when I switch, ooh, yes. That's a big difference, isn't it? Switch back. I got my eyebrows back. And then I guess at some point I must have done this very destructive thing. There we go. Oops. There we go. I'm not sure where that came from, that line. Strange. Can we sing it? I don't know. You can sing it if I can hear you. Morph target brush, guys. right? So make sure that we're on the right target. That's kind of important. This one has my eyebrows, so I guess this is the right one. So this is the one I should be sculpting on, I guess, because this is the one without eyebrows. So obviously I can delete this guy if I don't want it. And this is, oh, that's always where I feel like rookie mistake. I got to switch first and delete the other one. Okay. But the point is maybe you didn't want this line. Maybe this line was bad. So as long as you still have the morph target, that's what I'm getting at, then you can use your morph brush to push it back. So that's BMO, we said from the other day. And you can kind of get rid of the area. Okay, so let's do this again, one more time. So this is what we want to worry about. We can delete the one we don't care about, but we still need to store this one if this is our starting place, if this is the place we're starting from. And we can always get back to this place, right? So now at this point, let's make another lasso under the eye. And let's be kind of careful about this. And again, you're probably saying, God damn it, I don't have good scan data. So why do you keep going over this? Well, because the morph brush thing is really, really, really important. And we'll continue to use it throughout the class. That's most of the reason why. So project, but the answer was make sure that the one on the bottom is actually visible. And you might actually notice that, wow, that doesn't look very good. So I probably, much like you, won't get very good results out of this. Okay, so what does it look like? I turn off the scan data, and oh my God, that looks terrible, right? So this is, again, an example of bad scan data. But just like before, please don't smooth it out, because that just makes it worse. And instead, just use your morph brush and carefully kind of erase by morphing back to what I had before. And if you want to keep some of this, maybe not all of it, but like a little of that texture, then just take the morph brush at a very low intensity and morph it back. So it's really just morphing between these two different states, and you can decide how much of that data you want to keep. Okay, enough review. We've done all that. So now let's do like some other stuff. So lips. If you want to sculpt lips, you should really sculpt lips at the highest density that you can afford. So I'm up here at 9 million. I should probably go higher for lips, really. Most likely I should. But I'm going to try it here and see what happens. So damn standard brush, but this time change the brush alpha. And let's see what I can do. Let's see if I can. It may not be enough polygons to really get the shapes that I want. So some people at this point will just sculpt, and you can already see what I'm getting. So 1, I want lower Z intensity. And you have to ask yourself, oh, yeah, that's better. Brush size, 2. Don't use Sculptris Pro mode. Really, you're beyond that at this point. So your primary and secondary forms, you should always use Sculptris Pro mode. Your primary and secondary forms on your hair, use Sculptris Pro mode. But when you get to the detail, like the detail on the lips, this is when Sculptris Pro mode is not your friend. Now you got to make sure you're working with subdivisions. And now you can take this damn standard brush, add that alpha, and begin to sculpt in the details on your lips. And don't be like afraid of it being kind of random, because lips are random. So that's just fine. Just make sure you have enough polygons to do it. So I'm up here at 9 million. I don't think it's looking too bad. I think it's looking pretty good. Not too bad. Whoa, don't go too far. Oh, that reminds me. I almost forgot. One good technique that you may want to use for this is you can always mask off the lips. I already mentioned that it's going to make a mask behind the head, which I could go back there and like try to fix or whatever. But I mean, I'm not worried about behind the head so much, so I'm just worried about this. So let's blur the mask a little bit, because you for this you don't really want a sharp mask generally. Invert it by command tapping, and then soften it by just hitting command and tap on the mask. So I just hit command and tap on the mask a couple times to soften it. Then if we invert it, oh, we did that already. Whoops, we want it inverted like this. But we can hide it. And so then that gives me a little bit more freedom to go a little bit crazier with my lip stuff, and I don't have to worry so much about the edges being wrong, because the mask should prevent me from going too crazy with this. You can make these sort of X shapes as well. That's fine, but try to make most of the shapes or most of the lip detail in the right direction. It's okay, again, for it to be random. It's fine. Just make it kind of random. It's cool. It's cool. Random is good. Random is good. We're getting a little too much, so we can soften it back. When I get to the edges of the lips and it's maybe not looking the way I want, then we can always, hold down Shift and soften the edges a little bit. But there we go. Okay, so here's a really cool thing I might add. You don't have to be too perfect with this. Don't be too precious with it. You can really be kind of aggressive and kind of random. Oh no, what the heck? Crash? Did I just crash? Oh no, I may, bam! Whoa. Yikes.